Okay, so how do you quickly create an effective sales onboarding program? Hard thing to do for sure, and many times it starts with just knowing where exactly to start and what you want to do. You might be in a situation where you have an existing program that's not driving the results you want to see, or you're in a scenario where reps are telling you that they're completely overwhelmed by everything that's going on. So imagine being able to quickly build a sales onboarding program that will get things happening that much faster for your team. I know there's always challenges around sales onboarding. We hear it all the time. But imagine if you could switch yours real quick just to start testing and iterating on your sales onboarding process such that you can start driving the results that you really want to see. Imagine something that's really aligned to the outcomes that the leadership is tracking, that's got the activities and the exercises that you want people to actually align to. It's not as hard as you think to get these things going. We actually have an amazing customer that we work with, not going to share any names, but they had a pretty overwhelming product that was hard to get people up to speed that much faster. And they completely changed their onboarding, and not in big ways. They started small iterations at a time, and as a result, they were able to see massive, massive impacts on getting their newer reps that they were hiring, hitting the results they wanted sooner. So let me run you through a real simple framework that you can use right now to start building really effective sales onboarding programs right away. All right, so here we go. It's called the Profitable Ramp Quadrant. And it's essentially, well, it's a quadrant, 4 sections, as we all learned. Quadrant 1, we have milestones. Start here. This is where you want to start this, to understand the metrics you're driving and the milestones people want to get to. So these can include so metrics would be one thing. It could be ready to be on the phone. It could be ready to do a demo, ready to run a discovery. Whatever are the milestones that are important to that role, have those things set up front. And then the beauty and the reason to do this is that way you can work backwards from here. So start with the end in mind in this capacity. Next thing is the actual training and the different training required that you need to get to each of those milestones. So these can include things like the content that's required. It could be videos, it could be call recordings. And for each of these things, whether it be getting ready to be on the phone or do the first demo, align these different pieces of content or recordings to the milestone that you want people to drive through. So that's the second quadrant. The third one here is coaching. Now, a lot of people leverage coaching and practice to lead to these specific milestones. So you can have here, you obviously want to have manager feedback. You can leverage video coaching here. So this would be like practicing their pitch, doing a discovery call. You could be doing role plays, objection handling, whatever it is you want, but have coaching and practice as part of this Profitable Ramp Quadrant as well. And then the last thing behind door number 4 here is actual outcomes. And this is such a key thing here. Part of outcomes would be things like reducing ramp time, but this is all about measuring the time to a specific outcome. Ramping is all about making things happen faster. So what is it that role requires to be faster at? Is it building pipeline? Is it finding new business? Is it hitting a quota target? Choose what that is and then measure. We call it TTFD, so time to first deal, or TTFQ, time to first quota. Whatever the outcome is, that's what makes up this framework of the Profitable Ramp Quadrant. Many leaders will treat onboarding almost like an HR function, like it's an orientation, but this can't be the case when it comes to actual sales onboarding. And the reason is because sales is a very much performance-based role. So it can't just be a bunch of check marks that you did things and learned things. You need to know that you're doing the job right and driving the actual performance metrics that you're going to be measured on. And as such, these metrics need to be incorporated right within your onboarding program and work backwards on the coaching and training that's required to drive those types of metrics for performance quickly. Okay, so let's review here. Getting an onboarding program for your sales teams up and running can happen quickly, and we don't have to overcomplicate it. The key thing here is to figure out what milestones you want to drive and then work backwards from there, align the coaching and training that's required to get them to those milestones, and make sure you know exactly the outcomes that you want out of your onboarding program. Also, you want to know that your reps are completely in understanding of what those outcomes are. So as they're going through the coaching and training, in the back of their mind, they can start thinking of how that coaching and training that you're providing them will help them get to those outcomes sooner and get them ramped that much faster. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions on this. Add a comment below and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.